This video is for you if you're 1 year out from retirement all the way until 5 years out from retirement. The reason for that is I want you to avoid getting unlucky. And the risk is you retire, get unlucky, markets go down while you have healthcare costs, while you're traveling, while you're trying to make the most out of what you've worked so hard for. So you want to spend while you have your energy and your health. And at the same time, maybe we're doing a home remodel, or maybe we're considering additional travel because right when you're retired, you're excited and you want to do these things. I'm not saying don't do them. I'm saying I want you to do them. I just want you to avoid getting unlucky. And that's what today's video is going to be all about. I'm going to show you an example of someone who has $2.5 million, a real case study, and they are on track to be okay, but they want to be more than okay. They want to feel confident, and that's what I'm going to show them how to do today, as well as all of you. So if you don't already know, my name is Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast, and I'm the vice president at Root Financial Partners. If you are looking for more guidance on tax planning, on estate planning, on health insurance, on investing, on withdrawal strategy, you're in the right spot, and I invite you to subscribe. If you have no interest in early retirement, optimizing your financial situation, please don't subscribe. You won't like me or my videos. So with that being said, let's hop in. Important disclosure here. This is all for fun. Please be smart about this. Educational, informational purposes only. By no means is this one-on-one financial advice. Please be smart about this and consult a financial advisor, a tax preparer, and a estate attorney before you execute any of the strategies that you see me discuss. Important disclosure right here. So let's meet this guy. So you can see inside of his plan to get a sense as to who this person is. He has $2.6 million. Now, he's got $300,000 in a Roth IRA, about $2 million in a 401k, and then $345,000 in what's called the superhero account, also known as the taxable account. Superhero, not a real name. Okay, I just made it up because this is what allows a lot of people to retire early, and I really like this account. Now, they have a home. It's worth about $1 million and $70,000 in the bank, no mortgage. So this guy's in a really good spot. Now, he is single, no children, 54 years old. He wants to retire at 56. And he's like, hey, I think I'm in a good spot to make it happen. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything, and I don't want to get unlucky. So this person is 2 years out from retirement. And if we go to his strategy, so you can see his actual plan, this is what it looks like, which is here we are, 53 years old. So sorry, I said 54 before. 53 years old, $2.6 million, thinking of retiring in 2 to 3 years, 56. And then his assets are decreasing. And what's happening here, we can only see when we go to the variables. So if we look at his plan, he told me he wanted to spend $10,000 a month throughout retirement. That's $120,000 a year. But that he's got some big expenses that he's worried about, and if that should shift back his retirement. And my recommendation is yes, and I'll explain why. But you can see here, we talked about massages and physical therapy and different things in previous videos, and he resonated with this. And he goes, yeah, I want to throw those on. Could be $10,000 a year, $12,000 a year, but I want to take care of myself. He also wants to do a big home remodel, and this is going to happen as soon as he retires. So you can see you can go add in a goal like this, like a remodel. So $175,000 as soon as he retires. He wants to do a remodel. He's got healthcare costs from when he retires to 65, and then he wants to do a lot of travel. Now, he wants to front load his travel. This person says $10,000 a month. That allows me to travel, but this is like above and beyond type of travel. So his plan looked good, but anytime a line is decreasing like this, generally that's not a good sign. The reason for that is what if markets don't do well? And this is the first unlucky test. What if it's more of a balanced approach? He's not comfortable with volatility, markets don't do well. He'll still be okay. There's still $1 million left over. It's not 1.7, but he's still okay. The thing is what if he's more than unlucky and he says, I want to be a conservative investor now and markets don't do well? Well, now there's $70,000 at age 90 and you don't want to be in that position. So the first variable that I'll discuss with the client is, would you like to work longer so you can spend this amount, or would you rather stop working right now, but it only means you can spend this amount? So for this person, I would say, look, you want to retire at 56? Awesome. You want to spend $10,000 a month? I'm all for that. Would you want to ever spend less than this? And some people go, yeah, I was being like unnecessarily conservative in here. I don't want $10,000 a month. $8,000 a month, more than okay for me. With that, I can do everything I want to do. I go, great. Then if that's what we're planning on, you're on track for $3.5 million at age 90. And they go, that's pretty cool. And we'd have a chat. And I'd probably say, why would you ever work? In fact, You could stop working earlier. What if you stopped at 55? And he might go, am I really able to do that? I go, maybe, because your expenses aren't $10,000 a month. But if you wanted to spend $10,000 a month and retire at 55, well, now you're putting your plan in a tough spot, because the risk is we're up against some big expenses the first few years of retirement. The best way to illustrate this is actually not on this screen here. Many of you are inside of this academy, so you know what I'm talking about right now. If you're not, you can enroll. You can see there is no one-on-one guidance, but you get access to the software and tools that I use that I'm showing you right now. So if you want, you can play around in live time and manipulate this at the same time with your numbers. So going back to the plan, if you click retirement analysis under comparisons, you actually scroll to the right and click retirement details, and you go to this withdrawal rate page. This is the most important page for a retirement. It tells us how much money we can withdraw without running the risk of running out of money. So what you can see is if this person retires at 57, his withdrawal rate is 8.5%, 8.6, 8.7, 8.99. That is not sustainable. That is a sure way to run the risk of running out of money. And the reason that his withdrawal rate's so high is he's got big travel expenses, he's got healthcare, he's got remodels that he wants to do. So later on, you can see his withdrawal rate, 7, 8%, that this is still telling me this person cannot retire at 55. Now, what if he said, I'm going to retire at 57 and I still want to spend $10,000 a month and I still want to do the home remodel and I still want to travel? I'd say, well, that's very different, because now throughout retirement, your withdrawal rate is in the 4 to 5% range, which is sustainable if you're doing all the right things, but you're also way too high at the beginning. 12%, 7%. And this is a big risk. So it's almost like someone could be on track for retirement, but not on track for the first 5-10 years, which is an odd thing. Let me show you a better example. So let's assume this person worked until 60, just to give you a hypothetical. Now, he doesn't want to work until 60, but just humor me for a second. He might see an article that says you don't want to have more than a 4% withdrawal rate or 5% withdrawal rate or something like that. And he'll look at his first number that will show 6% at 61 and go, I can't retire. The article said 4% or 5%. But if he were to zoom out for a second and scroll out until he's 77, his withdrawal rate would be 3.9%. If he keeps going out, his withdrawal rate's 3.4%. And this is him spending $10,000 a month, that's $120,000 a year, doing the remodel, traveling, healthcare, all of it. And so his withdrawal rate's very sustainable. It's just sustainable later on in life. So the mistake that I see people make is they go, I'm going to retire anyways, no matter what, while their withdrawal rate's not sustainable. And I see all other people not retire because they go, Ari, you said 5% in another video, and this says 6%. Well, 6 is higher than 5. I'm not going to retire. It's not that simple. This is a dynamic thing. And this person is in a comfortable position if they wanted to retire early. If their withdrawal rate was 6% first year, 2 years of retirement, I'm cool with that. That's not a problem, because it's decreasing and the rest of their retirement is very sustainable. What I might want them to do is say, hey, could we maybe, instead of $45,000 a year of travel, could we do $30,000 the first year? Could we do the home remodel? And I'm all about doing the remodel, but do we have to do all $175,000 in 1 year? Could we space it out over 3 years? Making shifts like this, a home remodel, $80,000, not in 1 year, but being able to say, let's do it every year and let's do it for 3 years. So you're getting a bigger home remodel, to be clear. Can we space out some more expenses? Because the real risk is you have 1 year where your withdrawal rate's really high, and that becomes really scary. What if we do a remodel and it's $40,000 a year? So $40,000 a year for 3 years. Every year you're making some adjustments. You're still spending $10,000 a month. Travel isn't $45,000, but it's $30,000 a year. How does that impact the plan? Well, it makes a big difference, because now their withdrawal rate is never over 7%. The first few years are in the 6%, 6.5% range, and then it decreases and they're in a really good spot. And when someone's going to have a withdrawal rate in the 2 or 3%, that is a sure way of not running out of money. So the first thing we'll do with a client is ask them, hey, how long would you like to work? What do your expenses look like? And what you want to do is avoid these big withdrawal rates. These are on the higher side, but if we have flexibility, whether it be working longer or investing more aggressively or whatever it is, you have tweaks to be able to adjust this. And if I saw someone with a withdrawal rate in the 5% range, 5.5%, and dropping to 4 and then 3 and then 2 and then 1, I'd say, well, you're really in a comfortable spot that even if you're really unlucky, you're not going to run the risk of running out of money. So this is a powerful tool. This will allow you to really play around and get clarity around your own finances. At the same time, with this person right here, I would have very transparent feedback and say, look, if you want to stop working at 56 and spend what you want to spend, you could do it, but I would feel uncomfortable as your advisor giving you that green light, because a withdrawal rate of 8% and 7% and 6% throughout retirement, it's just too high. Now, if you said, the base expenses is $8,000 a month and, I want to do a remodel, but I'm willing to kind of put that over a few years and I'm willing to travel throughout retirement differently. Well, then if I see one withdrawal rate at 7%, and then quickly decreasing to 5 or 3 or 2%, that is sustainable. So this is the chart that really gives people confidence in retirement, as opposed to this chart, which they're the same chart, they just look very different. This is a chart showing with the same variables what they're on track for. So it can show they're on track for $4 million, but if someone came to me and they had a child that has 4 years of college coming up, but they have $3 million, that doesn't mean they can retire, because what if they have college education expenses that they're funding through retirement accounts or through their employer, so just cash flowing college. At the same time, they might have travel, healthcare, a remodel, you name it. And the big mistake I see people make that I don't want you to make is to go like this. Here I am retiring early, but I don't have Social Security yet. I don't have a pension. I don't have rental income. So I'm not going to spend too much money because I don't want to run out of money. Everything's up to my portfolio. And at the same time, you probably have the thought of, hey, I definitely don't want to run out of money, but at the same time, I don't want to sacrifice while I have my energy and while I have my health. And these collide, and most people underspend because they don't want to run out. And then they're 75 or 80 with plenty of money going, hey, why didn't I retire earlier if I was in a fine spot to do so? So hopefully this video was helpful, kind of getting to see how can I minimize my chances of getting unlucky, which is by generally going before you actually retire, 1 to 5 years out, can we save more money to, for example, a cash account as opposed to your 401k? That way, if, for God forbid, something happens, what you can do is go, oh, I have enough cash on the side, I can pay for that home remodel, or I'm willing to pull from this account instead of my 401k, or I'm willing to do part-time income. So for 1 to 5 years out from retirement, I really encourage people to, as much as possible, start going, okay, what are the big expenses that might come up? And while you're still working, can you maybe tackle them? Could you maybe do the home remodel before you actually retire? Could you maybe think about if you're going to downsize and the timing of that? And if you can prioritize certain things like your health, well, that's always going to be a cost, an important cost. But things like a home remodel or things like big travel or whatever it is, can you start tackling those things before you retire so that if markets don't do well or if XYZ, you don't have a million expenses that you have to worry about? And once again, there could be a mortgage and travel and health insurance and yada, yada. I don't want you stressing unnecessarily. So I hope this was helpful, giving you a few new ideas. If so, please like it and share it with those you want to retire early with. See you guys next time.